Have you ever heard the whispers in the dark? Angeliena, a daring journalist, thought she was prepared for the supernatural, but nothing could have prepared her for the haunting mystery she uncovered. An abandoned mansion, a series of disappearances, and a chilling secret hidden within its walls. As she delves deeper into the darkness, she finds herself trapped, caught in the very evil she's been chasing. What happens when you become part of the story? Stay tuned to uncover the terrifying truth behind the mansion and why Angeliena will never be the same again. It was a night like no other. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows in their frames. Inside, the room was dimly lit by the flickering light of a single candle. Angeliena sat hunched over a desk, scribbling on a piece of paper. She was a young journalist, known for her fearless investigations into the supernatural. But tonight, her courage was about to be tested in ways she never imagined. Angeliena had been researching a series of mysterious disappearances in a small, isolated town deep in the woods. The locals spoke in hushed whispers about strange events that occurred every decade, coinciding with an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts. The mansion stood empty for years, yet every decade, someone would vanish. No one ever dared approach it. Angeliena couldn't resist. She was determined to uncover the truth. Her investigation led her to the mansion, where she now sat alone in front of a creaking desk, surrounded by dusty bookshelves and ancient relics. The air was thick with the smell of old wood and decaying paper. The house felt alive, watching her. Suddenly, a soft knock echoed through the silence.
Angeliena froze.
She had been alone for hours. Slowly, she stood and crept toward the door. Her heart raced as she reached for the handle. What if it was something else? Hesitating, she opened the door. There was no one there, but as she closed it, she saw a figure standing in the distance at the end of the hallway. Her pulse quickened as she stepped toward the figure, but it vanished into the darkness before she could reach it. Was it her imagination, or had she seen something? She didn't know, but she was certain of one thing. The mansion was hiding something. Something dark. As she returned to the desk, she heard a faint whisper, almost a voice, too soft to understand. She spun around, but there was no one there. The whisper lingered in her mind. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her, locking her in. Panic gripped her. The room grew colder. Something was in the room with her. She turned toward the window, hoping to escape, but the glass was covered in thick dust. The wind outside howled, urging her to leave. But where could she go? The mansion seemed endless. The whispering grew louder, now distinct, chanting in a language she didn't understand. It sounded like an ancient incantation. Then, the whispering stopped, but the presence still lingered, heavy in the air. Angeliena turned around and saw it. A figure, draped in tattered black robes, stood in the corner, watching her. Its face was hidden, but she could feel its cold, unblinking stare. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The figure moved slowly toward her, each step making the room darker. It was close now, so close that she felt its chill. "Why are you here?" the figure rasped, its voice a horrible sound. "You should not have come." Terror gripped Angeliena's heart as she stumbled back, unable to move. The figure reached out a skeletal hand, its fingers cold as ice. She tried to pull away, but it was too late. The moment its hand touched her, darkness flooded her body. "Now you are part of the house," the figure whispered. "You will never leave." The darkness enveloped her completely. She lost consciousness, and everything went silent. When Angeliena awoke, she was on the cold stone floor. The house was still. She struggled to sit up, her body trembling. The whispers persisted, faint but there. As she looked around, she saw something new. The walls were lined with faded portraits. One caught her eye, her own face staring back at her. The house had claimed her, and now, she was just another face in the darkness.